Well, you're probably learning this stuff, firstly because it's exciting to learn something new. We'll see how many of you stick to the end. And secondly, because your current job or your future job requires you to know this stuff. Or even your past job, in case you were kicked out for messing up something terribly. So let's see what a security analyst does after the morning coffee. The job titles in this cybersecurity business, and more precisely the titles you might be able to put on your resume with a certification like CISA Plus, include lots of jobs, like security analyst or cybersecurity analyst, security consultant, CSO, that's Chief Security Officer, security engineer, even just a network engineer or consultant. Those guys are expected to have their security knowledge up to date. Also server admins, database admins, and even developers. Now we'll cover aspects that apply to all these jobs and more. And you can even add the word cloud before each and every of these titles, because most of these traditionally on-premises jobs now apply to cloud environments as well. So for the sake of consistency, let's just refer to one. That's the cybersecurity analyst. Well, first things first. What is cybersecurity? Well, cybersecurity refers to the protection of any information that belongs to you or to the company from unauthorized access, attacks, theft, data damage over computer systems and networks. So at the end of the day, it's everything that you are doing to protect your digital data. Now, coming back here to the role of the cybersecurity analyst, why is that guy getting paid? Well, a cybersecurity analyst is a senior position within an organization's security team with direct responsibility for protecting sensitive information and preventing unauthorized access to electronic data and the systems that process it. So the analyst can also have juniors under his or her wing and usually reports to the CISO. So the boss is going to be the Chief Information Security Officer. But what exactly do they do all day? Well, implementing and configuring security controls such as firewalls, intrusion detection systems, and other threat management appliances and software. They work in a leading role in the computer security incident response team, or CSIRT, or Security Operations Center, SOC, to manage security incidents, auditing security processes and procedures, performing due diligence on third parties, and delivering employee training, performing risk assessments, vulnerability assessments, and penetration tests, and recommending appropriate security controls or procedures. And they also have to keep themselves informed and up to date so that they can provide threat intelligence, awareness, and advice on legal, compliance, regulatory issues, not just the technical ones. And, well, as far as the job requirements go, it is kind of expected for you to have an up-to-date technological knowledge, creative thinking, problem-solving skills, and even empathy. You have to think sometimes like a hacker. Think like someone who does harm or seeks some personal gain. Some non-technical language skills are also very useful. You should be a very detail-oriented person, and when bad things happen, calm and self-control. In many organizations, cybersecurity analysts are likely to work as part of a security operations center, or an SOC. An SOC is a location where security professionals monitor and protect critical information assets in an organization. And, well, because SOCs can be difficult to establish, maintain, and finance, they're usually employed by larger corporations, like a government agency or a healthcare company that deals in personally identifiable information, and other companies like that. SOCs, despite their differences in size, scope, and responsibility, tend to be designed with a few key principles in mind. So an SOC should be, first of all, supported by organizational policies, giving it the authority it needs to be effective. It should be able to balance its size and its presence in the organization without overstepping its bounds. It should be staffed with motivated people. I'll tell you a secret here. This is one job where if you're lucky and lazy enough, you might not have to lift a finger and get away with it. Unless shit hits the fan. Definitely don't do that, but beware that unmotivated individuals can be very harmful for your organization, especially if they're in charge of your defense. Think about going to war with an unmotivated army, or a football match where players in the team have no motivation to win. This is bad, right? It should be staffed with skilled professionals, right, and not overstaffed with underqualified personnel. It should be able to incorporate a wide variety of security processes into a single operation center. It should be equipped to perform incident response duties. It should be able to protect the SOC's own systems and infrastructure from attacks. Be aware of the strengths and the limitations of each tool that it uses. And it should be aware of the nuances involved in monitoring to be able to separate the signal from the noise. We'll talk more about this in future lectures. And of course, it should be willing to collaborate with other SOCs to share valuable information on threat intelligence and mitigation techniques. Alright, so for the exam, make sure you understand the responsibilities of a cybersecurity analyst. It's also equally important to understand which tasks do not fall under the responsibility of a cybersecurity analyst, and you should be able to identify the main functions of a security operations center. Thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe, and see you on the next video.